Let's talk about heat transfer. What we are really talking about here is how energy moves, specifically heat energy. Heat is byproduct of combustion that is of significant importance to the firefighter. Heat transfer occurs in three ways. These include conduction, convection, and radiation. Let's take a look at each of these. Starting with conduction. This is heat transfer as a result of molecular contact. The best way to understand conduction is by thinking about an example. Looking at something as simple as a campfire. Imagine that you are camping and you hold a pot of water or stew above that flame. There's conduction happening as the flame is transferring energy directly to and throughout a pot as a result of molecular contact. Conduction is going to happen most effectively in solid materials. Let's not forget about convection and radiation. Let's look at convection. This is heat transfer through or as a result of density differences. The heat transferred by the movement of liquids or gases. These convections as heat from both the boiling pot and the flame itself is rising up as a result of density differences. Convection occurs most effectively within liquids and gases. Finally, let's think about radiation. Radiation is heat transferred by a wave motion. This radiation occurring all around the campfire as energy travels away from the flame in the form of electromagnetic waves. As we've already seen, heat energy can be transmitted directly when molecules collide with one another and cause the waves of heat energy to travel. In radiation, no material required that can occur in space. For convection, it's going to be density differences. For conduction, it's going to be contact. And for radiation, it's going to be waves. In a fire room, when you touch the hot surface, you get burned. This is an example of heat transfer via conduction. The firefighter crawling in a fire room feels heat in his hands and knees. This is because heat is being transferred from the hot floor to the firefighter by conduction through his gloves and gear. Convection, on the other hand, is caused by the movement of gases or liquids. Now, let's consider a fire where you are crawling in a fire room with the door open. You have a fresh air coming the door, cooling you off while the hot gases are going up over your head and out of the door. When this layer drops and you are in the hot convection flow, this will help heat you up at the same time. You will also get a small amount of radiant energy from the hot gas layer crossing your gear to heat up. If you are crawling in a fire room, even if you are away from the fire, your gear will heat up to a certain extent and you will begin to feel heat. This is because heat is being radiated from the hot flames to you. This mode of heat transfer is called radiation. Hot is Sun is a great example of radiant energy. If you want to get away from the sun's radiation, what do? You step in a shade. This is the same principle applies to fire.